this is Lee with Fanatic Comics, and this is the launch of Mike Barron and Jordi Armengol's Offworlder. Oops, we had Mike, and we lost Mike. I'm sure. Oh, here he is. Let me bring him in. Hey, Mike. There you are.
I'm here.
Yes. You popped on and you popped off. You scared me.
Scared myself.
You know, Mike, I was just saying this to Carrie. You're having a hell of a year, man. I mean, you got Nexus, and it did really well. You got the book up with Richard C. Meyer. You got Nexus. You're doing a Nexus story with him, correct?
Pardon?
Are you not doing a Nexus story with Richard C. Meyer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and then you have Florida Man. It's done well, and hopefully, I believe we're going to do well on Offworlder. You're having a good year.
Well, we're getting stuff out there. Kelsey Shannon's the artist on Nexus with Splato. In fact, I have an illustration here. Let me see if I can dig that up and show it to you.
Okay.
I'll put it on your Facebook.
Your sound is bad again.
Nah, I can't find it.
Okay.
I'll find it for you. I know where it is.
Does the sound okay? I was just told that the sound's kind of funny.
No, it sounds fine.
Okay. All right, good. Because I just bought a new mic because the last one kind of went on me. Let's see here. Okay, so I know, like I said, I like Kelsey's style. I mean, I bought that Jungle comic that him and Dixon did together, and I thought art-wise that was a pretty good book.
Yeah, he's doing a comic for Allegiant Arts too.
Yeah, which one is it? Nora, I think it is. Yeah, with I can't remember what her name is now off the top of my head. Names are always like the first thing to go with me. So you had Nexus, which hey, I have my copy. Love it. Looking forward to getting Florida Man.
Did you finish reading it?
No, I have been so busy.
I know you're a busy guy, Larry. I was just curious.
Yeah, and I read the first chapter, and I told Carrie, I said, man, I'm torn because I received something else, and I've been reading it, and it's got me really hooked. So I'm fighting myself between this other book that I'm reading and this book, and it's got me torn.
That's the beauty of books.
Yes, and plus on top of that, I'm really behind on my other reading as well. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was something came in the mail today, Mike. And I wanted to show this to you because it just came. Let me. Here it is. Unfortunately, the mailman was a little brutal. And there went my green screen. So,
Your sound is horrible.
I got this in the mail.
It's horrible.
So we both were visited by the Pat Broderick Tooth Fairy.
It's up on my Facebook page.
Yeah? This came today. How did yours come? Did your mailman mutilate it as well?
Pardon?
Did your mailman mutilate it as well?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's in perfect shape.
Oh, good, because I tell you, I have some of the worst luck when it comes to my mail. I don't know, I think the mailmen around here just kind of like, hey, let's play Frisbee tag and just fling it around the lot.
It's a problem. Some post office workers are very conscientious. Others aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a nice guy. One of the nice guys that work down there. When he ever brings mail, he's always early. The rest of them, they're always late. So, But anyway, what I wanted to do was I wanted to sit down with you and have a conversation about Offworlder and the campaign. Let me go ahead and screen share that. Let's see, bring that up.
Hey, Larry, make sure you post a link to this conversation on Facebook.
Yep, I did. That's not the right one. Wrong tab. There it is. Okay. Yep, it's already up on Facebook. And right now, we're looking at what? Oh, 1187. It jumped up from the last time I looked. That's in, 6 hours, so 7 hours. So we're not doing too bad. And let's see. So we've got some people in the chat. They've been commenting on some things. Bruce, I need to get my glasses on here.
Me too, fast read, says Bruce.
Ah, very good. So I'm assuming. Oh, I'm distorted, Bruce says. I wonder why that is.
You are very distorted.
Am I?
Yeah.
Huh. Is that any better?
A little.
A little? Okay.
I can understand you.
Okay. Well, hopefully.
Talking.
That's good. I'll gladly let you, Mike.
All right, this is our third time around for Offworlder. We will not quit. They say 3 times a charm. Anybody who knows my material, who's backed any of my recent projects, who's read my comics or my novels, knows that I deliver an entertaining story. If you've ever been disappointed by a crowdfunded comic in the past, you felt that the art wasn't up to snuff or the writing wasn't good, I guarantee you that this book delivers. It will grab you by the throat and you will be riveted until the last page. What's more, for most people, this is going to be their first exposure to Jordi Armengol's art. We've put some of the pages up on the Kickstarter. If you've seen those pages, you know what I'm talking about. Jordi is an explosive force in art. He's a style that you've never seen before, although he does owe a certain allegiance to Galassi and Jim Steranko. But it's like the first time you saw Neil Adams or Jim Lee. That's the impact that Jordi's art is going to have.
Yeah, I do like his style. He takes that 60%, 40% dark, and he really works it. And I love the fact that Jordi absolutely is not afraid of camera. He'll put the camera anywhere he feels is necessary on that panel, and it's just great. I love that about his style. There's a lot of artists who are afraid to move characters around, but Jordi, he's not shy at all. He'll take that challenge. I love that about his style.
Jordi also just accepted a contract with Dark Horse to work on one of their most important titles. Jordi won't tell me what it is.
Yeah, he won't tell me either.
I just haven't asked him, but he's going to be explosive next year. And this is a preview of his art. But Jordi's been a professional artist for decades. And he's arrived at the peak of his form. And what you see in Offworlder is a master illustrator at the peak of his form. It's exciting art. For people who only buy comics for the art, this will knock you out.
Oh, yeah. And this is the thing. If you look at, I've been looking at his book that he's doing for over in Europe, that Dracula. I've been seeing the art for it. And I'm telling you, you look at Offworlder, and mind you, everybody, you're looking at Jordi's art from 2 years ago. So this book was drawn 2 years ago by Jordi. His style has progressed a great deal, and it is much, much better than it is even now. The progression, he's really advanced in his art, and he, like you said, he's at the top of his game right now. He looks really good.
He reminds me a little of Alex Toth, although there's not much stylistic similarity between them, but the way they use blacks, conveying the maximum impact with the minimum number of lines, which is not to say that those pages, every page has an impact because he uses so many spotted blacks. A lot of artists don't know how to use that. They rely on the colorist. Well, the colored pages are magnificent too, but all this art could stand by itself. You could print the comic in black and white, and it would be a knockout.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, his style it's really good, and his that's why I'm excited to see his Dracula book, because his style lends itself easily to horror. I mean, that's right up his alley for that style that he does, and with Offworlder, with the fact that there is a bit of a horror element to this story,
Yeah.
as so his art style lends to that as well, and I love that style that he has. I keep thinking that oh gosh, Billy Wrightson, his early stuff was kind of dark like that, and then he went a bit more commercial, but I liked his early stuff like that as well, because he was great at the macabre.
Yeah, I think that toward the end, Bernie was drawing for the colorist, whereas before he was drawing as if it would appear in black and white. So there were a lot more spotted blacks.
Yeah.
But his art was as strong as ever. It was just lighter. And he relied on the colorist to bring it alive to a certain extent.
Yeah. So I know we've talked about this story before, and I know it's ingrained into your brain as well as into mine. But give us some hints about the story. Give us your elevator pitch for the story.
All right, I got a pitch. Let me just look it up. Here it is. 7th century Scotland. Henry Gunn leads his clan in a ferocious battle with Viking invaders, but with victory in sight, he is ripped from space and time by an alien race. The Anunnaki seek a champion to stop another alien race from conquering all known space. Aided by the Egyptian goddess Sarah, Gunn undergoes a hideous transformation, becoming something more than human, able to move through time and space at will, yet unable to save his wife and child. The fate of civilization rests on the shoulders of a troubled demigod. In the tradition of The Stars, My Destination, and The Silver Surfer, Offworlder is a star-spanning science fiction saga that will keep you riveted from first page to last.
And I know a lot of people have kind of dubbed this Highlander in space, and yeah, it kind of is. That's a fair assessment. Also, another fair example I've heard people say is, and I agree with this because I was an Exo Man of War fan, is it's very comparable to Exo Man of War. There is that element there. So you're getting, and I know, Mike. I don't think you were into Exo, were you?
Well, I worked for Valiant. I did many titles for them, but I didn't write any Exo Man of War. I did Ninjak, Archer and Armstrong, Turok.
Yeah, I read your Ninjak, your Archer and Armstrong stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of Exo Man of War kind of elements in this. There's, like I said, there's a lot to this, and let me share with you guys some art here. This is probably one of my favorite panels in the book. That is our antagonist. That is Rathgar. He's Henry Gunn's sworn enemy.
Nemesis.
Yes.
And Rathgar is hardly the heavy in the book. I mean, when you first meet him, he's bad news. I was influenced somewhat by the show Vikings, which I enjoy very much. I thought it was very well done. Although I don't imitate anything, I tried to do my own research and come up with my own angles. But I love what Vikings did with their attention to historical detail, and we've done that as well. I did my research, and there's some stuff in here that people never knew that's going to be very surprising to them. and it's part of the story. It's all worked organically into the whoop and wharf of the story, where you got pictures and words working together. I have three rules that guide me as a writer. The first is it's my job to entertain. I keep that first and foremost, lest I get sidetracked. Number two is show, don't tell, and that's the one which we're talking about now, and it holds true for fiction, words alone, as well as for cinematic arts and the visual arts like comics and movies. And show, don't tell means that whenever you can give the audience information visually without people talking it through, you should. And anybody who's seen the show Better Call Saul knows that program is a master of show, don't tell, because every episode begins with like a 5-minute wordless sequence, and you're intrigued right away because of the style that it's done and the things that you're seeing. But at the end of the 5 minutes, you always go, oh, I see. It's got that kind of impact. And I think we've tried to do that in Offworlder.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about it is when I was talking to Pat Broderick about the commission for this cover, one of the things that I told him is I said, I would like to have all three elements of the book, the Lizardson, Rathgar, and Gun on the cover, because the lizards, but have the Lizardson kind of like being hid, so they're like, because they're really the puppet masters of what's going on in this story. And I'm not going to give much away here, but trust me, what you're going to experience, and I don't know everything about this book. I've only read a portion of issue 2, and I know somewhat of the plot from what Ben has told me, but this is there's a lot to this. And if anybody knows anything about some of ancient history, who the Anunnaki are, there is so much lore and history in this book that you will be surprised. You have the Anunnaki, you have Viking history, you have the temple, the Library of Alexandria. In the opening of this book, there is just a very deep history all put in this book, and most of it is accurate stuff. The Library of Alexandria, the Caliphate, when they came in to sack the city of Alexandria, those are all historical facts.
Sure, babe.
And so, this is what Mike has done, and I love that, because I'm a big history nut, so I love the fact that you went and did all this research and put all this in the book.
Thank you. The key thing for me was a biography of Cleopatra.
So you incorporated Cleopatra as Sarah?
No, she's not in there at all. But it was an excellent look at Egyptian culture prior to the birth of Christ. It was very accurate, and it explained a great many things, some of which I incorporated into the story.
Okay. See, again, those are elements that I like. If you can take fiction and grab enough reality and put it in there, I think it enhances the story even more and makes it much more easier for the reader to digest your fiction. Because sometimes we go too far, and everybody's like, I can't believe that.
It's not what you say; it's the way that you say it.
Yes.
How do you grab the reader's attention? You use every trick that you have. You use a great plot idea. You use a scary monster. You have a sympathetic protagonist with whom the audience can identify. You have a seductive narrative voice. And in the case of comics and cinema, you have a wild visual style that you can't look away. And
all those elements come back to storytelling. It goes back to the days of Greece, the Romans, I'm sorry. We have, Plato and Socrates, the hero's journey. And that is what makes for a good story, the hero's journey.
Yeah, there's certainly elements of that in here.
Yes. And without that, it's just, if bringing out the hero's journey, the hero evolving, coming forward, overcoming adversity, all of those things encourage you to cheer for the guy. And that's what we're going to see with Henry Gunn.
Yes.
Because this guy, he has some things happen to him.
Yeah.
And he grows from it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know.
Price.
Yes, yes, and that's the thing. All heroes somehow pay a price, whether we like that price or not. Whether we're like, oh, why would you do that? But a good the story. If the hero gets everything too easily, it's a nothing. But when he has to earn it. Yeah, when he earns it.
Dynamic narrative with a beginning, a middle, and an end. By dynamic, I mean that the circumstances are constantly changing. If you have a story where you have a smug, content protagonist, where everything is going smoothly in his life, and nothing ever changes, well, you've got Virginia Woolf. I mean, there's a place for that too, but that's not the type of story we do. We do heroic fantasy. We do thrillers and adventures, where the fate of the hero is constantly in question and he must struggle throughout the whole thing. He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down. That's the way a story grabs you by the throat. It keeps you turning the pages. The essential question in all fiction is, what happens next? And for the reader to want to know, he has to care about the characters and he has to care about the story. And you'll do that when you read this comic.
Exactly. Because this guy, Mike, you run this guy through the ringer, and it's a good story. I love it. I can't wait to see this thing finally done in print, in color, and in my hands. Like I said, I've read this thing several times, and I love it. I've read the script. I love this thing. I can't wait to see Offworlder get finished so that we can start Offworlder 2.
Larry, you know about indiecrowdfund.com?
That's a new one. I'm not familiar with that. I just saw that today when you showed it to me.
Yeah, well, we got to put this up on indiecrowdfund.com.
Yeah. I'm going to get that done as soon as we finish this live stream because I have not, I didn't know that existed. I've been to quite a few different places, but yeah, it's definitely new because I've not seen this one. I know I've placed it in over in Reddit and so forth, but I haven't. Like I said, I haven't put it there because I didn't know. And it's up on IndieCon. So
yeah.
So but guys, I cannot stress enough how good this book is. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be publishing this book. I've been a fan of Mike's since the 80s, and
since the 19th century.
yes, the 19th century, yes. Because I tell you guys, I'm in my 50s, and I was first introduced to Mike Barron and Steve Rude back in the 80s with Nexus and Badger, and I was a big fan and have always been a big fan of that book. And have read Mike Barron's Flash. I've read other stuff that he's done. His Archer, the Archer story. And I just, I really love your work, Mike. And this is really a great book. And also, Steve Rude was very kind. And let me share with you guys something that Steve Rude did. He shared for the campaign some art. Now, Steve would probably tell you these are just doodles.
They are his warm-up sketches.
Yes. And this is on canvas here. This is his colored pencils.
Yeah, that figure on the right. It's one of those great artists. It's not Maxfield Parrish, but a contemporary of his. You should be able to recognize that. It's driving me crazy. Who is that artist that dude is trying to emulate there? It's a study off that guy who did heroic illustrations like what's this? Oh man, I'm going blank.
I know, and I've seen this on
pirate stuff.
Yeah, there was a kitchen sink back in the 80s had this guy on their book, and it was a pirate story, and I can't remember what that story was called, but I saw this, and I kept thinking, I know I've seen this, and then
Howard Pyle.
Thank you. Yes. But anyway, this is a study of Steve Rude's in colored pencils. I mean, this is great.
He does for just a warm up, a little
And so this is for sale. These doodle works are really popular because you can get a commission piece, but this is the artist trying to try to figure out something in his style, and they're very collectible because of the fact that they're unique. They're not just a commission, because commissions, they're going to be perfect. This is a study in that whatever it is they're doing, and this for him was his colored pencil study.
They're very personal.
Yes, and personal to the artist. And then this is him using the tile method with opaque watercolors. And this is his Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I do like this. Yeah, I do like this. And I can't say enough how grateful we are that Steve offered these up to let us put those in the campaign. But, if anybody's interested, those are there. We do have them for sale on the campaign. We were going to put the original art for the cover up, but unfortunately, it's been damaged, and so I didn't feel that was fair to put that up there with the mailman. I mean, he beat it pretty bad. It's got a bunch of creases and wrinkles in it. So, but we also are going to do. Hi, Ann.
Thank you, baby.
We'll also have a version cover of Pat Broderick's art and a regular cover of his art that Pat has said that he would autograph, and Mike said he would as well. We have 100 of each of those covers. So we're going to, once the books get sent, we're going to send them in a very rigid box so that they arrive safely with Pat Broderick in his home, and then they're going to get shipped to Mike in his home, and then shipped back here so that FC Fulfillment can get those put out to you guys. We're asking a bit more for those just because of the fact that there's a lot of shipping involved. But they're worth every penny. I mean, this is Pat Broderick and Mike Barron. This is going to be a good book, and we hope that you guys will join us on the campaign.
On the trail. It's campaign season, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It seems like it, especially for you, Mike. You're working it up. I'm telling you. I could not be more happy for you. I'm glad you're having a great year because I think that, like I said, I've always been a fan of yours, but ever since I met you 10 months ago, come to really like and respect you, Mike, and I appreciate. You're very welcome, and I say that from the bottom of my heart. And my heart's about this big and it's black. But Mike, I think we're going to call this a day. Okay. I appreciate everybody that came in here and visited with us today. We hope that you'll back Offworlder.
Back off, Worlder.
Yes. This is a great story, and it's great art, and it's done in traditional storytelling. You can't ask for better than that. Mike, why don't you lead us out of here?
Good night, my friends. Stay safe.
Y'all be good.